So once you start putting your time into becoming a YouTuber, your life gets cooked. Bad things happen. And now you're going to give that 40-yard stare. And you're not going to be saying the same thing when with Becky with 5 live sentences looking you dead in your face saying, hey, Blondie, I'm going to need that. Guys, I do this. Not what they're doing. YouTubers. I possibly am one, but mainly a streamer. Things crazily happen at these YouTubers' houses for whatever the reason is. Boy escapes from YouTuber's house of horrors. Only the Lord could know what's going on in this house.
Hi, how is this?
Thanks for the background.
Wondering if you could do 2 favors.
Well, what are they?
Taking me to the nearest police station.
What's going on, son? Have a seat there.
It's personal business.
Ring.
Whoa. Wait a minute, how do you come to my house?
How do you come in my...
And I'm a good woman. I don't do naughty things.
The lives of
And the fact that you use naughty already implies that you do naughty things. I ain't gonna lie to you.
family lifestyle influencers Jody Hildebrandt and Ruby Frankie imploded on August 30th, 2023.
Damn.
When one of Ruby's 6 children was discovered weak and hurt. The other 5 had not been accounted for at this time, and law enforcement wasted no time in launching a full investigation. As the police delved into the twisted dynamic that had grown between the 2 women, they never could have anticipated the depths of the depravity that children were subjected to,
What the fudge
or
is...
the mind-boggling justifications offered by the perpetrators.
What?
I just want my kids back. I want my family back.
Oh, is that the
Adults
dad?
have a really hard time understanding.
Big day for... They should be teachers. Okay, yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, D. They look like teachers. They look like teachers, but they should definitely be far away from kids. I don't know what this is. Big day for you, Yil. I don't know.
I'm understanding that children can be full of evil.
The devil. Oh my gosh, bro. Quit it with all that damn. Come on, bro. I'm trying to lock in.
And what that takes.
Dose her with
to fight
water?
it.
The following
Evil.
report is based on police records.
Oh, Lord.
When Dan Clarkson answered his doorbell at 10:46 a.m. on August 30th, 2023, he never could have expected his actions would kickstart a nationally publicized police investigation. However,
Is the
as soon
channel
as he
still up?
laid eyes on the young boy outside, he immediately knew something was very, very wrong. His Ring camera captured the heartbreaking conversation that ensued.
Is that the little boy? What the fudge?
Yes.
Hi, how is this? Wondering if you could do 2 favors.
Well, what are they?
Taking me to the nearest police station. Well, actually, just one's fine.
Whoa.
What's going on, son? Have a seat there.
It's personal business.
This was actually the second neighbor the boy had
Where's his
attempted to
pants?
contact. At the first house, there was no answer, so he'd been forced to move on. The disturbing reason he was seeking help came out when Dan made this emotional call to 911.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. Said he had just came from a neighbor's house. He's hungry and he's thirsty.
While Dan was on
Whoa.
the phone with the 911, his wife gave the boy, who introduced himself as Russell, snacks to eat while waiting for help to arrive. But shockingly, there was something more appalling about the boy's condition
What the fudge is all the duct tape and...
than his extreme malnutrition.
He has duct tape around his ankle.
Injuries, and there's sores around them.
duct
Yeah,
tape?
there's sores around him. I think there's a good chance he's been...
And he also has
and he has it around his
wrist
ankle.
as well.
I mean, his wrist
Wrists
as well.
and
Okay, this
ankles.
boy has been...
Needs immediate attention.
And yet the most heartbreaking revelations were yet to come.
Okay, this boy has been...
Needs immediate
The fudge?
This kid has obviously been... I think he's been detained. He's been...
What the fudge is all of this? Castor oil? What the... What is this?
He's obviously covered in wounds. He says what's happened to him is his fault.
We need the police
What?
to do it now.
The police and an ambulance were already on the way. During the tense waiting period, Russell revealed that he'd been staying with his mother and her friend, Jody Hildebrand, since
Oh, Lord.
May. Terrifyingly,
mother,
he added that he wasn't the only child in Jody's house. His two sisters, ages 9 and 14, were still inside.
I'll take more.
As Russell underwent medical
Whoa.
assessment, more police officers arrived.
We need to identify that house. If there's 2 other kids there, we need to go do a security sweep of that house and help them.
They were about to realize that they'd gotten there in the nick of time.
Things were
As
about
the
to get
police
worse.
staged in Dan's driveway, a woman drove up in her car and announced that she was searching for a 12-year-old.
When I arrived, a white visitor pulled up and come next to me. The female driver, Jody, told me that she was looking for a boy. Jody seemed out of breath and very worried. I told Jody that the officers were looking for the boy.
She gave her name as none other than Jody Hildebrand, the woman
Mom's
Russell said his
friend.
family had been staying with. Cleverly, the police didn't tell Jody how much they already knew. They just took down her address and said they would come to speak with her shortly. She didn't have to wait long.
And that warrant is crazy, though. Oh, is it G Pro? I don't know. Oh, shoot. Bro, these are expensive. It's a big house. Oh, they're YouTubers. Wow.
Police officers, open up! Got movement right here.
Right there.
Contact. Got movement. Open the door!
Oh, Lord.
Jody? I need you to step out.
I have my attorney.
That's great. Step out of the house.
No, I'm not gonna step out of the
Step out of the
house.
house.
Step out of the house.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
We're just gonna see
on.
if they're gonna be up.
What? I'm not talking to my attorney.
How do
Kicked
you
her.
come to my house?
Right there.
They come into my house. Do you have a search warrant?
We'll explain it after this.
You can't just come into my house without a search warrant.
Jody was mistaken
Oh.
about the need for a warrant to enter the
You can't just come in the house. I feel like you could go into somebody's house if it's for like not probable cause. That sounds crazy. I don't know.
because the police already had probable cause due to
Oh, I knew it. What if don't become a full-time YouTuber? Bad things. What? So once you start putting your time into becoming a YouTuber, your life gets cooked. Bad things happen. Is that what you're telling me? Oh, what?
911 call that the neighbors had placed after Russell showed up at their
I'm a streamer
door.
at heart, guys.
There was a
Remember that.
clear emergent need to enter, and
Content
a warrant
creator.
wasn't necessary. The police must account for the welfare of the other 2 children. They certainly had their work cut out for them, though, because the house was massive. During the
Huge
search,
house.
the police found one room that appeared to be set up for filming. This, they would learn, was because Jody and Ruby both had a significant online presence.
Oh,
More
Lord.
details would emerge throughout the investigation, revealing the dark side of these social media influencers. To
think
ensure
so.
that they left no corner unchecked, the investigators retrieved the blueprints of the house. This turned out to
That's
be a
huge.
brilliant idea, as the schematics revealed something that might have been overlooked otherwise.
There's tunnels in the house.
Outside, Jody did not appear to be shy about expressing her displeasure at the intrusion.
I have Airbnb guests over there. Probably scared them to death.
Okay. Is there anybody else in the house?
Yes,
2 kids?
there's a little girl.
Just one?
She's right over here.
Okay.
The Airbnb guests were the least of the police's worries right now.
Oh, Lord.
Following Jody's instructions, they made their way down the hall to a bathroom with a large closet. What they found inside was devastating.
Hi, I'm a police officer. Are you going for the union here? Hey, you okay? Is it just you in here? I'm Sergeant Tobler. What's your name? I just have one.
What the
Where's your
fuck?
sister at? Contact one. You okay? Huh? You doing okay? You don't want to talk to me? Yeah, that's okay. Can you come with me though? We got Jody out here. You know Jody?
According to the information Jody
Oh, Lord. Why is that kid just miscellaneously sitting in the closet solo dolo?
gave, this was Russell's 9-year-old sister Eve.
We want to be best buddies, but we're getting a little mad here because he won't give me his shoes. Guess what?
I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing rituals.
Learned how to ride a bike with no training wheels. Come here, I'll show you.
Despite the officer's gentle approach, she sat eerily still and quiet, hardly giving a sign that she could even hear him.
You take your time, bud. I'm in no hurry. I'm a police officer. Did you know that? I don't mean to hurt you at all. You doing okay? Are you scared? Yeah? You're okay. Do you need help? I'm not gonna hurt you. Promise. See this right here? It's a badge. It tells me I don't hurt people.
Hey man, I ain't even gonna say too much. I'm just, you see what I'm saying? For most of it, he is correct.
I'm just here to make sure you're
Dean,
okay.
you are 100% correct too.
If you're scared,
there are too many.
I would be too. Okay? You wanna come with me?
Still, Eve didn't respond. They hatched a new plan to win her over with pizza. While they waited for the food to arrive, the officers kept her company with the utmost patience, refusing to rush her out of the closet until she made the choice to leave.
Imagine being so traumatized that you ain't scared to talk to the presence of police officers. Hey man. He probably was sworn to secrecy or something.
We don't have to say anything if you don't want to. Okay? I'll just sit here with you.
Meanwhile, back with Russell, the EMTs got a close-up look at the duct tape and wounds around his ankles. What they found was almost unspeakably gruesome. But even this was overshadowed by what Russell said next.
Oh, Lord.
In between bites of the snacks from the neighbors, he told the police officer documenting his injuries additional details, which made the situation all the more sickening.
You're not in trouble with me, okay? We're just trying to figure out what's going on. Our main focus right now is you, okay? Who put the ropes on you? Supposed to help you what?
The police report revealed the chilling answers that were redacted in the body cam footage. Russell said that Jody and his mother, Ruby Frankie, had restrained him with ropes to help him with what he'd been choosing. How the women had chosen to treat the resulting wounds left EMTs puzzled. The officer who spoke with Russell repeated the distressing details to his supervisor on the phone.
They put cayenne pepper mixed with honey and then covered that with the plastic saran wrap and then the duct tape over the wounds.
Detectives have found evidence of the honey and cayenne mixture in the upstairs bathroom, along with more ropes, used bandages, and other wound dressings.
A medical got there, they started cutting the stuff off him, and then you can see like the dark around his ankles. You could smell it. When they went to go peel it, they thought it was some of the dressing. It was actually his skin that was peeling.
Able to keep my cool if I was an officer on a case. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's just like, because it's like, I know we still have a minute to go in this video, and I know it only gets worse. But it's like, I don't know how much worse it gets. And what were they doing?
Obviously, the police wanted to talk to Russell's mother to understand what could possess someone to treat a child in such a manner. As of yet, though, Ruby Frankie, along with Russell's older sister, were still unaccounted for. Jody certainly wasn't sharing where Ruby was, as her behavior became increasingly strange as the house search continued. When this officer seemed unreceptive to her stare, she tried a different target.
Are you waiting for me to say something, or? Okay.
Inside, the search went on for more children, especially Julie, the older sister Russell said was at Jody's house. There was no sign of her yet, so the police decided it was time to confront Jody about what they'd found when referencing the blueprints. A safe room in the basement, locked with a vault door.
Why? You have a room downstairs that has a safe wheel on the front. How do we get access to that to ensure that there's no one else in this home?
Adam.
They do need to search that there's nobody else, so I think you can give them access to make sure there's nobody in there.
After further back and forth,
that probably just ruined the whole case for him, bro.
get the lock combination from Jody, a team returned to the basement to open the safe. Upstairs, additional officers were still trying to gain the trust of the little girl in the bathroom closet.
Found dead skin.
She found dead skin.
Dead skin.
Get out from underneath my bed. Right now.
Sorry, Mom.
I am more upset that you came in my room when you knew you weren't supposed to. You knew that it was a bad idea.
Yeah.
You're still going to have the consequence of not having your nails done for a month.
Mom.
It's a deal. Give me a hug.
Mom, can I help you two to get paid? Because I want a lot of money.
You.
What?
They likely hoped that the
I want to help you two get a lot of money. What do you? Oh, Lord.
arrival of the pizza would change things in their favor, but they were in for yet another surprise.
I'll put this in, okay? You want to hurry? You can eat? There we go.
Despite how painfully thin she appeared, Eve didn't go for the food right away.
At least she's eating.
Eve proceeded to eat the entire pizza and requested 2 more large slices from the
Oh,
lunch
wow.
that the police had. As Eve ate, the plan was to focus on opening the safe, but suddenly a new priority emerged.
What the frick
With no
new?
warning, Ruby Frankie, Russell and Eve's mother, arrived on scene. After determining that she had no weapons on her, she was taken to a separate area of the house to wait out the search. The police would check in with Ruby once they finished going through the house. The only place left to look was the basement safe room. When they opened the door, though, they were likely crushed. Julie was not inside. At first glance, the room looked to be
There's a
nothing more than a
bed?
barren bolt hole reserved for emergencies. When they started opening drawers, though, they turned up some stomach-churning evidence. Handcuffs, a length of rope, and a carabiner.
What's a
Based on the condition
carabiner?
of Russell and
What is a carabiner?
Eve, the police received an official search warrant.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a feeling of what this could be. I feel like this is gonna take a very disgusting turn for the worse.
That enabled them to collect these items, along with many of the electronics, as evidence. But even after being in the house for hours, there was still no sign of Julie or the other Frankie siblings. The only certain thing was what should happen with Jody and Ruby. They were both placed under arrest for aggravated child abuse.
Okay, just place your hand behind your back for me. Perfect.
During the arrest process, the officers likely noticed some strange behavior from Ruby.
Yeah,
She
was
didn't
cooked.
say a single word, even when put in the back of a police car with Jody. The police had to hope she would be more verbose when the time came to ask her how Russell and Eve had gotten in such miserable
Yeah,
conditions.
she's not gonna say anything.
Okay, go ahead and have a seat.
Yo, dude, you're a movie, bro.
Even if I ask her a name or just like, not even ask them about things, she looks at me and goes,
While Jody was at least responding to direct questions, whether she would respond to the hard ones police had in store was yet to be seen.
I'm a little nervous.
You're that. You know, to be honest with you, if I was sitting over there, I'd be a little nervous too. So don't.
Whoa,
worry
what is that
about it.
scar
I'm
on her
just here
face? Oh, that's
talk
not a scar. That's a
to your
freaking.
side.
So I trust my attorney. He said, don't say anything. And I said, I have nothing to hide. And he's like, I know that, but just let me be there with you when you talk. So you guys seem nice people. I'd like to just tell you, but I don't know who you are. I don't know if you're gonna flip my word. I'm a psychologist. I've watched people flip things all the time.
As you get to talk.
So I get it.
I don't know.
I sit on your side. I get it. It looks bad that I don't want to answer anything, but it's not.
Okay. Looks bad. You could have just said it looks bad. Okay? Because now you're starting to realize you're trying to downplay the situation. I think you're starting to understand that you know it's bad, but I don't like the fact that it sounds like you're making it worse.
Because I'm trying to be difficult.
Even though Jody refused to talk without a lawyer, trying to get information from Ruby was astronomically more difficult.
We're just here to talk to you about kind of a few things involving your kids.
Yeah, where the rest of your kids at?
So first, do you live down here or? Or do you live up?
What the fudge? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know where it was, but she looks borderline familiar, right? Like I think I saw it a long time ago that there was this one lady, right? This one white lady, and she had mad kids, and she was recording YouTube videos. But then I had heard like I think the husband and her separated, and then I don't know, but I knew that there was some like child abuse that was going on, and that could be a whole separate family. I don't know if it's her or not. I'm so confused. But this is a weird situation. She says she's a psychologist, and I think that was a mistake because that would make me put my mental guard to the mat. Oh, factual statements. You're not gonna sit me and say, yeah, I study the mind for a living. What? Study the mind for a living? I'm gonna get Dr. Strange in this joint. What do you like? We're deciphering all of that. I gotta make sure that all my guards are up. Maximum security, mental style.
Up north.
I'm not going outside. I can't. And now you're gonna give that 40-yard stare. And you're not gonna be saying the same thing when with Becky with 5 life sentences looking you dead in your face saying, hey, Blondie, I'm gonna need that. You think this gonna work? That shit ain't working. You know what I'm saying? That's not happening for you. Look at you.
Do you want to talk to me about where you live or how many kids you have?
Look like she's trying to hold stain, like she's trying to like keep her stain intact.
So yeah, this is just your chance to tell us. We're just trying to get your side of the story. So it's your chance to do that, but it's up to you.
I'll wait till I have a lawyer. Okay. So you want to talk to us at all?
There was hardly any doubt that the two women had done horrible things to Ruby's children. But with both women unwilling to talk, the police still had no idea why. Answers, though, were closer than anyone thought. When the detectives first got to the police station, they found a surprise visitor waiting. Ruby's husband, Kevin Frankie, was there, and he wanted to pick up his kids. With so many burning questions pertaining to the Frankie family.
Wait a second, are they married still? Why do they have...
was detained and taken to a third interrogation room where he was read his rights.
How did you find out that you needed to come here to the street?
I received a message that I needed to come pick up my kids from the police department in Highlands.
And who was that message from?
Well, I prefer not to say right now.
Does it make sense that that would happen? I'm just not aware of anyone who did that from our department.
Right. And I'm not comfortable saying right now who reached out to me.
Okay.
Was that Jody?
Okay, gang. Okay. You can't, he literally just said, I don't want to answer, who's gonna ask, and you just keep pressing him. Is this how the cops work, like to try to get it out of you? I'm so confused. He literally just said no 3 times. Do you want him to fold after the third? I'll tell you, it was Jody. Jody told me. Jody told me. Yeah, I gotta go pick up my kids. Go pick up your kids from the police department. I don't know. I'm not speaking on it, bro. Come on.
Next question.
Kevin was keeping quite close-lipped. However, it wasn't all bad news. Back at Jody's house, Eve finally seemed to be warming up to law enforcement.
You don't want to talk? Okay. There's nothing at all you want to talk about at all? It's okay to talk to me.
Nah, no cap. I kind of be scared though, because now it's like, now that the dad's in the picture, now it's like, how did they figure that information out? Huh? Now, if she tells, now the police officers are gonna, you know what I'm saying, do their normal actions, and then it's gonna be like, when they go, because I don't know if they get custody back of their kids, it might just go down to hell from here.
Are you
so now
scared?
I understand why she wouldn't want to speak.
We helped your brother. And we got him some help too. And that's what we want to do for you. Is we want to get you some help too. We are safe. We will not hurt you, and we won't do anything to hurt you.
It took a total of 4 hours before Eve was willing to leave the closet with medical personnel. When examining her in the ambulance, EMTs discovered that she had wounds on her feet and decided that she and Russell both needed to go to the hospital.
Yeah, put them in a
Thankfully,
hospital.
as Kevin's
I'm just guessing they trying to ask the real questions, but the reworded to
conversation with police continued, he was willing to provide some crucial context.
And how many kids do you have, Kevin?
I have 6 kids.
So are they all living with you, or?
No, I haven't seen them for over a year.
Any of them?
Oh,
No, none of them.
For a year.
Over a year.
Okay.
I've been in a separation.
divorce.
From who?
From my wife and family. Ruby invited me to leave
Okay, the fact that you still said your wife, that means y'all are still married. So why y'all separated?
the home
Mm-hmm.
while I thought about the choices that I've made in my life and the way that I've treated her.
And did you
You
ever
abused
try
her?
to reach out to the kids, drop by the home, or
No.
was
I
there?
honored the no separation boundary that we agreed to.
When was the last time you saw Ruby?
The last time I saw her
Yeah.
was the 18th
Of
this month. We met she requested me to sign over
Oh, so there was a
vehicles,
divorce
or the
happening.
titles to the vehicle that she drives that were all in my name.
when's the last time you physically saw Russell or Eve?
The day that I moved out, July 24th, 2022. So my job is to financially provide for them.
I was trying to figure out like how much of a role do you play in the caretaking of specifically
These two kids.
of those 2 kids?
I pay the bills.
Okay.
With my job, I provide the money, goes into a shared bank account, and that's my only involvement.
As the conversation went
Oh,
on,
wow.
Kevin seemed to be just as in the dark as the investigators.
Oh my God, so he don't even know what's going on. Oh,
Lives
this
in
is
that home with your, is it ex-wife? Is it currently a separated wife? Like who lives in that home with your children?
To be honest, I don't know. I know that she's there with 4 of the children, and our 2 older children have moved out.
This likely
they
came
were
as a
adult.
shock to investigators. If there were 4 Frankie children still living at home, that meant they weren't just missing Julie, but
They're
another
missing
one
another
of
kid.
Russell's teenage sisters, Abby.
Oh,
Before
Lord.
launching into a frantic search, the detectives decided to finish talking to Kevin, hoping he could give them an idea of where to look for the girls. As the conversation went on, though, Kevin's story only got stranger.
Oh,
Who's
Lord.
this female Jody that your wife lives with? Do you know a female named Jody?
She is a
Therapist and life coach.
therapist and life coach. I know.
Life coach. I ain't gonna lie to you. She bringing y'all life to shit right now. I had to keep it blunt with y'all, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. How do you get put in a child abuse case and you're a life coach? You're a therapist. Wouldn't you know the best situation to avoid this kind of stuff? Or is this just me? Am I geeking right now? Keep it a buck with me, guys.
Do you respect her?
Do I respect her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she's a very honest, truthful person. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about
Is
that,
your wife a partner of hers? Is your wife a roommate with her? Your kids are living in her house is what I'm trying to say.
I'm not aware of that, but I know that they've been in business for the last year filming. So every week a podcast goes up and I listen to it. And
What's the name of it?
Connections with an X.
This would explain the film set discovered in Jody's house. As it
Okay.
turned out, Jody and Ruby both had a significant following on Instagram and YouTube. Jody was a therapist, and her accounts focused
Oh,
on
geez.
counseling and family dynamics in alignment with the Church of Latter-day Saints.
Church of Latter-day Saints. No. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That doesn't sound good. I've heard that name before, the Church of Latter-day Saints, and I've heard a lot of bad stuff happen with that name before. Wait a second. Oh, Lord. This is going to be, oh, Lord.
Of which she and Ruby were both members. She called her program Connections and had
Yeah, this account is definitely taken down. I was going to search it up, but it's probably not with us anymore.
written several books sharing her methods, and even taught online Zoom classes on the topics of family health and harmony.
How would you
Ruby,
know this?
meanwhile, created more slice-of-life content, cataloging daily life with her family as members of the Mormon faith.
Mormon. I knew it. Yes, yes, 8 passengers. That's not. I didn't know that's the name of the name of the channel, but it's like, let's see something. I was right. 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 It was. This was it. This was it, gang. That was the family that had all them damn kids and shit got weird later. Bro, I knew it, bro. I knew my history. And they were Mormon. Very interesting. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of things to say about particular individuals, but okay, let's just go ahead and be honest and just stick to what we see here.
Her
You see
main
what I'm saying? Go
platform
based
was
off
a
the
YouTube
evidence.
account titled 8 Passengers, supplemented with an Instagram under the same name. In due time, the police would learn that the content made by Ruby and Jody had become unimaginably twisted behind the scenes.
Are you involved with their business efforts or no?
And were you involved in the 8 Passengers account with your family?
Yes, I was in the videos.
Recently, Ruby's online presence had undergone a shift. She rebranded to Truth Mom, but began focusing less on her own channel in favor of working with Jody on connections.
You guys got a lot of heat
These
for
Saints is usually
neglect
bad news
and
facts.
child abuse. A lot of people commented those things on there. Why were they commenting those things?
That's a good question. We had a son who was acting out in very selfish behavior.
What did you do?
Is this Chad or
Yes, this was Chad. And none of this is strange or odd. You could get on YouTube and find out all sorts of stuff on this.
Eventually, Ruby stopped posting on her private YouTube account altogether, which Kevin said eliminated 90% of the family's income.
Dang.
Her last video on Jody's channel, though, had come out just 2 days ago. In the interrogation room, Kevin shared more about the situation, which led to public outcry against the Frankies.
He was being very cruel and mean to his siblings that he shared a room with. And so we removed him from the room.
What do you mean by cruel and mean?
We said you can sleep anywhere you want. Sleep on the couch, sleep on the pull-out bed, sleep on the floor for all we care. But
I think he knows something because he's taught. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. He doesn't seem like he has any disabilities. No. I think he knows exactly what happened. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he's just as aware of everything, but he's just not trying to get caught up in the jutsu because this jutsu can give him a life sentence. This is a very bad jutsu he could get himself caught in, and that's what it's looking like right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is not looking good for him, and it looks like he's trying to make sure he's able to say the words properly so they don't come off a certain way. Gabe, I'm gonna put you in on some game real quick. YouTuber family known for having mad kids. One of them was an oddball. I don't know what they define as oddball, but kid got kicked out and now bad things are happening in the family and one of their kids are being abused.
you're not sleeping in that room with your brother. He chose to sleep on a beanbag. So 9 months later, he had made a lot of changes in his life. And he was ready to, and we had moved by that time. And so we had a new house and he was ready to move into his own bedroom. Made a video about it. And in the video, he mentioned something to the effect of, I've been sleeping for 9 months on a beanbag. And that is what all the uproar was
Lies,
about.
lies. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. You gain nothing. You're lying to me right now. You're lying to my face. You're lying to my face. You're lying to everybody around me. You're lying to BTL. Don't lie to me, bro. Don't lie to me, bro. Come on. That's obviously false. That's obviously false.
Wasn't
gang.
Ruby's only run-in with the law. Shockingly, just 5 days before her arrest, she'd been pulled over while driving with her kids in the car.
Hello. You know how fast you're going right there? No. Okay. Got you going 57 in a 35.
Ruby was sent on her way with only a speeding ticket. Back with Kevin, he explained that the situation with his oldest son, Chad, was the catalyst for Jody getting involved with the family. She was hired as Chad's therapist and had the boy personally paying her $900 a month. From there, her involvement with the family only grew. How this could have led to the breakup of the family and the near starvation of 2 of the children was yet to be explored.
Okay, we still need to find a third and fourth kid.
How was disciplining your kids? How would you discipline your kids?
I prefer not to say.
Yeah, I'm not going to answer that question.
Come on! Guys, I do this! Not what they're doing, but guys, come on, bro. Come on, bro. The top tier discernment, Jesus Christ, is really getting me right now. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. The Holy Spirit is moving. I'm not gonna answer that question. Gang, you're caught. You're caught, bro. You're caught. You're caught. You're caught, gang. You're caught. You're caught. You're caught, brother. You're caught, brother, but you're caught, gang.
Are you aware of the physical condition of your children?
No.
I'm not gonna explain the discipline I gave to my children.
No, I've chosen to trust my wife with the children. That was part of the agreement of our separation.
Kevin was about to learn the harrowing consequences this decision has caused.
We received a phone call from 911 on our dispatch that a 12 to 13-year-old boy was knocking on doors in a neighborhood asking for food and water. So he had,
I'm sorry, what?
He had duct tape on his extremities, on his hands, on his ankles, and those were covering rope burns that were used to tie him down. Take a second and think about what I just said. That's the condition of your son.
Yeah.
Given that information, your son was taken to the hospital. A warrant has been applied and granted by the Department of Child and Family Services.
Okay, so CPS is now involved.
Both Russell and Eve from your wife's care. Do you understand that?
I understand.
Do you think the dad's any better? You know what I mean? Because the dad had to, for the mom and dad to have made this agreement, I'm assuming he had to be outwardly abusive because A, he didn't want to describe him disciplining his children. So that's a red flag. That, and also him and his wife separated. So that could be that the father was being very abusive in the situation. Right? He left, separated, and things just got 10 times worse. He just realized how bad the situation he's in. Yeah, he just realized, not realize, oh my gosh, what is happening to my family while I was gone? He's like, oh shoot, I finally got caught for what I've been doing to my family for so long. It's a difference.
Behavior?
I condone that behavior.
That's my job. My job is to find out your knowledge of the treatment of these
based
precious
on your description,
children.
No. But again, I don't know the details, or I don't know what's going on, but as you described that sounds
horrible, disgusting. No human being should be treated like that.
The investigators stepped out to give Kevin a few private moments to come to terms with what he'd just learned. When the investigative team returned 10 minutes later, Kevin took the opportunity to ask a burning question.
What's going to happen with my wife? I love my wife.
You love your wife?
I don't know. I'm being honest with you. I don't know. Hadn't had an interview with you.
I'm going to press charges against my wife.
Possibly.
Gonna press charges against his wife. He loves his wife. Okay, so why'd they separate? You love your wife so much, but y'all ended up separating. What was the correlation? What happened?
I think given the circumstances, that's highly appropriate, but again,
That night, the police decided that Ruby would be booked into jail to await her attorney. Even this, though, failed to get a reaction from her.
Makes you want to let you know what your
cheated?
Criminal charges were.
I think. Oh, that could be true.
It's going to be 2 counts, second-degree felony of child abuse or neglect. Okay. Do you understand that or no? Are you okay? I'm wondering if there's like a
yeah, she's doing all that damn geeking. You see what I'm saying? Like, quit being a geeker, man.
Clearance that needs to do you need medical attention before you go to the jail? Okay.
Exactly. You gonna quit all that damn fake crazy act. Nobody's trying to see that, gang. Lock in with yourself. What are you doing? Man, book her, bro.
I'm
just book her.
Concerned about you. I know you don't believe that. But I've had an opportunity to talk to your husband, and
she's delaying the inevitable. Exactly.
Your circumstances, and
Keyword delaying.
Obviously, your children as well. But you're sure you don't need medical attention or anything like that?
You're a geeker right now. Like, look me in my eyes when I'm talking to you. Like, who do you think you are? All right, don't worry. Becky with 5 life sentences is gonna get you right. I'm not even
Jody,
gonna worry
too,
about you.
was escorted to a police car to be transported to jail facing the same charges.
You're gonna be like, what you in here for?
Still inside the police station, Kevin learns more from the investigators about the children.
And so, I mean, this feels like getting run over by a steam truck while you're sharing with me today.
Yeah. I can tell you're caught off guard.
I thought I was just coming here to pick up my kids, and for what, I don't know what or why, but
You probably got a call. Was like, yup, they caught us. They caught us. Come pick your kids up so it doesn't get worse.
and I was planning on taking
User
them back with
energy.
me. Everything you're sharing to me just sounds like a made-up story. Like I have no idea what you're talking about. Like,
Brother.
it's just, it sounds like a horror movie.
Yeah. Why these, like, what caused these kids to get disciplined?
And what
you know?
you're sharing with me just feels like a sucker punch. I feel responsible separating, leaving. It hurts. I know you're all doing your jobs. And I know you all have the best interests of my kids at mind.
Now he's about to talk.
I appreciate them.
Thank you. Thanks. That means a lot.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
just want my kids back. I want
I'm
my
lost now.
family back.
I'm lost, bro.
I
I'm
want my
lost.
wife back.
I'm
It
very
was doubtful
lost.
either Ruby or Jody would be getting out of jail anytime soon. Jody grappled with this through the lens of religion while speaking with a friend she called from the county jail.
What?
And I don't know if I'm going to be like some kind of example, but when I get out of here, I have a story to tell, and I'm going to try to do everything I
Oh, Mormons don't do Jesus. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. They don't. Mormons don't believe in Jesus.
can to
What is it? Joseph Smith? Something like that.
protect the children, because that's what's happening, is that kids are being just horribly abused. Well, I have just been begging him, like, you've got to explain this to me. Like, I cannot logically figure out what's going on here. I mean, I should be here. I haven't done anything wrong.
Ruby, too, made some equally baffling claims during
we
her
lying?
jailhouse phone calls.
But the most upsetting thing is that I am completely misunderstood. That is the most horrible feeling. Like, my own family misunderstands me. They misinterpret me. And poor Jody, they misinterpret her. They misunderstand her. She puts her neck out on the line for people, and then they get mad at her. I mean,
y'all were
it is
probably
just
abusing these
horrendous.
kids.
It's horrendous. And you know what? Every Joseph Smith, every
Kids nonstop.
every
Exactly, bro.
wonderful man of God.
Knew it. Knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Why is every time some weird stuff comes out, it's always related to either Christianity or Mormonism? It's bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Some movie.
Every wonderful.
Every Joseph Smith and every wonderful man of God. Because don't Mormons believe that they get a planet after they die? Something along the lines of that. You know, I think that's something that I've heard.
Man of God has had to be misunderstood. And I'm a good woman. I don't do naughty things.
This sounds weird.
It wasn't all dark
this is
and
weird.
twisted news, though. In a stroke of luck, the police located Julie and Abby.
Oh, W's.
Shockingly, they were nowhere near the family home in Springville. Rather, they were located more than 20 miles away at a house belonging to Ruby's friend and fellow Connections member, Pam. How she'd gotten there, though, remained in question. Pam was handcuffed when the police arrived and agreed to answer some questions while waiting for additional investigators to arrive. While one officer sat with her, the other took the opportunity to check in with Julie.
Oh, that's the teenage
Do you
one.
need medical attention at all?
Yeah, they stay
Okay.
quiet. See, the fact that they're this quiet means that the parents are definitely going to beat them if they ever see them.
Is there a reason you're so scared right now? It's us? Okay. Well, I'm sorry if you've had a negative interaction with law enforcement in the past, okay? My intention is not to scare you. Do you go to school?
No?
Down the driveway, Pam was unhandcuffed when investigators arrived from Springville. She told them that she'd received a call from Ruby asking her to pick up 2 of her daughters while she dealt with a family emergency. Up until this point, the officers were under the impression that it was only Julie at the house, but Pam clarified that her older sister Abby was also there.
Whoa.
Thankfully, neither she nor Julie appeared to be in physical distress.
They were probably
like Russell
chilling.
or Eve. Julie and Abby appeared hesitant to go with DCFS representatives when they arrived, but were safely taken into custody to await the outcome of the investigation. The uncertainty over Abby and Julie's whereabouts had been answered, but so many questions remained. First and foremost,
People are usually only scared of police when they've seen or done something wrong. Yeah, that's true. You know what I'm saying? When you've seen something go a little off in your area, then you're like, oh, I don't know about that. Or, you know what I'm saying? Probable cause.
the quandary
Are you
of
moving
what could have
guilty?
happened to leave Russell and Eve so frail and traumatized. Kevin returned to the police station with his lawyer for a second interview. The additional details he was about to share were nothing short of astonishing.
Have you found the pen papers?
The pen papers.
Pen
So
papers.
it described all of the visions and trances and everything that Jody and Ruby went into.
What? What trances? No, were they putting these kids on drugs?
What would you say it was? It was like 3 inches thick or so. And there were hundreds of pages of written documents. It's something Jody would not want found.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't want to destroy it.
Because we do
Whoa. Did I just miss something?
have Ruby's journal, which is from those dates that you mentioned.
These things are going to be so... The stuff she wrote in the pen paper, she would not write in her journal. The stuff she wrote in the pen papers was not intended to be read by anybody until God would decree them to be written as scripture for the whole world to read.
So she's telling me that she thinks that she was anointed to write and add on to scripture. Is that what I'm picking up on? Amen, say man, bro. Amen, say man. Cult activity. Hey, mediocre. Talk to me nice, gang. Talk to me nice.
I believe that's what we have.
It wasn't certain whether the documents found by the police were actually Ruby's pen papers or just a journal. Regardless of what they were called, the contents revealed a wealth of heinous secrets. On July 10th, 2022, Ruby wrote, Eve and Russell have been in so much deviant behavior they won't control their bodily functions.
So they're pissing themselves?
I never would have suspected the cold, dead heart Russell has. Ruby echoed these sentiments in one of the phone calls she made from jail.
Adults have a really hard time understanding that children can be full of evil and what that takes to fight it.
According to the journal, Russell and Eve were locked in closets, made to do physical labor, wall sits, jump on a trampoline, stand out in the rain, and carry heavy boxes up and down the stairs for hours on end. When Eve slipped and fell while carrying the boxes, Ruby accused her of doing so on purpose, and then shaved her head as punishment.
What the
fuck? This was just brushing the surface of what the children endured.
I've never had a kid quite...
What? Cult.
Okay. I understand
Cult. I call it now. It's a cult. This is a cult. This is a cult. Worst kind of people because they don't see anything wrong in the activity because they believe they are a Messiah. Yeah, exactly. They think they are God. They think they are God. They think they are so aligned to their version of God. Keyword, their version of God. I'm telling you, bro, it always leads back to cults.
She does not like to sit and listen. I don't know if that's just her personality and she just needs me to be more strict with her than what was required with some of the other kids, or if she is displaying hyperactivity tendencies. So I'm gonna try to figure that out today. I honestly don't know which way it's gonna go. She knows that I mean it, and I'm gonna carry through.
He knew about it, so he was in on it. That's how they disciplined his kids. He would tell them to do all these extraneous activities.
With it.
Very
if
miscellaneous.
She absolutely is not capable, then I'm going to maybe take further measures to figure out if there's hyperactivity tendencies going on, or if she stays and she's really good and she listens, then it probably just means she needs a little bit more of a strict routine with her.
According to Kevin, the fight against so-called evil had not originated with the children. In fact, the downward spiral had begun more than a year prior under some
Whoa.
very strange circumstances.
Please don't say
we went
ritual.
out to like a dinner afterwards, and that's where Jody really opened up to the women in a private conversation that she believed she was being tormented and haunted by shadow figures every night. And that was...
Yeah, them demons were after her. I ain't gonna lie to you. Wow, them demons were after you. Those were real life demons.
Spooky.
Ruby also revealed that Russell and Eve still sometimes failed to control their bodily functions. She presented this as a method by which they defied her. Back with Kevin, he alleged that Jody's experiences had rapidly grown more intense.
She
Very cult.
was walking along the beach with Jesus, and Jesus challenged her to go walk on the water, and it was a whole lesson on walking on the water.
And that was still just the tip of the iceberg. The more investigators read of Ruby's journal, the more depraved the story became.
What?
Tuesday, big day for evil, she wrote on July 11th.
Huh?
All night, Eve screamed and cried and hit her head on the tile floor. Today, Jody confronted her. Eve admits to putting on a show for her mother. Eve said she wants to be pitiful. When the investigators read on and learned what...
Mommy, I want to be pitiful? Challenge to walk on the... Oh, Lord.
What torment Eve had endured to reach this level of desperation, they likely didn't know whether to be enraged or heartbroken. Jody mentioned her experiences with what she called the spirit in one of her jail phone calls.
When I feel the spirit, I have two physiological reactions. I get really shaky, like I'm shivering, like I'm cold, or I feel heat, like I have a fever run through me. It felt like I was burning up.
I have demons.
And I was just shaking with gratitude, like, here's your answer. Here's what this is.
Back with Kevin, he revealed that
all
while
I know
Jody's
is this was
alleged
not
visions
God.
had
Facts. This was some demon or principality she working with. This is not our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. This is false. This is not it. But I have a good idea on what it
initially
was.
seemed
Yeah, it was
positive,
a demon, bro.
things quickly took a much darker turn, and things changed inside the house.
There was a lot of satanic ones.
Knew it! I knew it! I knew it! Bro, I knew it! Man, I knew it! That is not Jesus Christ! That is not Jesus Christ! Yo, that is not Jesus Christ! Talk to me nice! Man, I know how my God gets down! And that's, you are literally messing with demonic principalities, bro. Demonic presence you were playing with. Look what you're doing. Even if the dad was in all that, he kind of W for airing it all out. Finally, bro, exactly. But yeah, his ass definitely gonna get some jail time though, because he knew about all of this. He knew about all of this.
When she would go into possession mode,
yeah, she was possessed.
She would talk in like different voices.
Different
really
voices.
Creepy. But the voices would say, she's ours. We're not letting go. She is Satan's bride. Satan's bride. And then she has the audacity to say, yes, I was walking with Jesus and he told me to go step on the water. You're messing with demonic principalities, bro. Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. This in and of itself, right? Regardless, she could be a geeker or not, but I feel like there is no way there is no way that someone should sit here and believe that this is like somebody has, yo, people got to understand that there's more to life than what you see with your eyes. You see what I'm saying? There is more to life than what you see with your regular eyes, bro. There is a spirit world. There are spirits, demons, angels, and all that kind of stuff that goes around in this world that people don't even realize with their eyes, bro. You gotta understand that, bro. And if you know that evil like this exists and demonic satanic practices happen and people change and all that kind of stuff, then you should know that there's a good side. If there's bad, there's good. That's where Jesus Christ comes along. Guys, I'm telling y'all, bro, the fundamental idea of an atheist, because there's a difference between agnostic and atheist. Atheists believe there's nothing, to my knowledge.
You see what I'm saying? It just looks crazy when you sit there and believe the fact that there is nothing beyond. That is wild to me. You see what I'm saying? I still pray for you and I still hope that you can, you see what I'm saying, find alignment. But y'all got to understand, bro. And that's what I want everybody to understand. There is more to life than what you see with your regular eyes, bro. There is a spirit world, and that is 100% real.
She's mine. I'm going to marry her. If she was faking it, she believed that Satan wanted her as her bride.
The journal
you're
revealed
just a pawn,
that Eve
gang.
experienced horrific punishments. This is the day Eve anticipates breaking her 2-day fast, Ruby wrote. I let Russell know she has hardened her heart and will do one more day of fasting to invite her to humble. Eve flips out and begins ranting. All day, Eve makes rhymes about my mom starves me and calls it fasting. In his second interview, Kevin continued his description of what it was like to live with Jody.
I can't explain some of the stuff that happened while we were there, like crashes in the basement while we were talking upstairs, and plates like in the kitchen just flying off by themselves, like full.
Whoa, so you're telling me there were plates in the house that were just flying off by themselves, right? Okay. Plates were flying. Okay, that's demonic principalities. You go to sleep and you see demonic, or you feel like there's figures around you and you feel uneasy. Those are demonic principalities. What I'm so confused, but I do know that I can trust in God to guide me even if I don't follow a religion. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? And I don't want anybody to go, and I'm not sitting here trying to impose nothing of what I got onto everybody. I'm just trying to show y'all, that there is a way. You see what I'm saying? There is a way, there is a security, and there is a life. You see what I'm saying? And that is the truth himself, Jesus Christ. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of twisted and messed up people out there that say and do a lot of messed up things to in a sense, tarnish the name of Jesus Christ. But you know what I'm saying? That name can't be tarnished. You see what I'm saying? W stain. Whatever you reap, you will sow. So all them people talking that nonsense, hey man, you see what I'm saying? The harvest is going to look a little crazy for you. But I'm trying to let y'all know that, you know what I'm saying? Christ is there. You see what I'm saying? The only way to get to the Father is through him. You see what I'm saying? The true, prosperous way of having a relationship with our Lord and Savior. You see what I'm saying? I promise you, bro. I promise you, bro. And it's nothing you're going to get right away. This is a lifelong journey. You see what I'm saying? I don't expect you to, and then boom, now your life is this. No, it's a journey. It's going to be struggles. Remember, Christ loves you. Factual statements. Factual statements.
Speed smashing on the wall and falling to the floor. And I don't have any way to explain it.
None of us are perfect.
There's some crazy going on.
Okay, so bottom line, they got plates and all that kind of nonsense flying off the wall, hitting stuff, all that garbage.
On other occasions, Eve was doused with water in the dog wash and made to sleep on the basement floor. And it only got worse going forward. Kevin, too, said that back in 2021, the situation with Jody took a similar downward trajectory as she became increasingly entwined with his family.
But it reached the point where in August, her bishop at the time, he's not her bishop anymore, but I mean, he was going over there every night. And he'd be there for like 4 hours. And he'd be like, I'm fighting evil spirits. I'm casting demons out.
No.
Crazy stuff going on.
You're a Mormon.
And finally, he got to the point where he's like, I can't.
Wait a second. You're Mormon. What are you casting out the demons in? Because isn't Joseph Smith your Jesus Christ? Or am I geeking? I don't know too much about that philosophy. But it's like, what are you casting out demons in? It's not in the name of Jesus.
Anymore. Like, there needs to be some sort of resolution.
After
4
the
hours
bishop
every
left,
night?
the
You
first
probably just
attempted
beating her
fix
cheeks
was
up.
for
Come
Jody
on,
to
bro.
move in with another family involved with connections. The opinions Kevin shared about what happened with that family reflect only his beliefs, and we have not been able to verify them.
According to that, after 6 weeks and trying to seduce the husband of the family, they kicked her out.
While there was no
Seduce
way
the
to prove
husband.
that Jody had been held against her will, the police knew for a fact that Russell and Eve had been. Ruby documented one particularly horrific confrontation between Russell and Jody, whom she refers to frequently as G-Joe. G-Joe takes Russell on a little walk to the pool, Ruby wrote. She talks on how Russell has love twisted. G-Joe then pushed Russell into the pool. Meanwhile, Kevin recounted the events
Why would
after
you do
Jody
that?
either escaped or was kicked out of the other family's home.
It was at that point that they said, why don't you take her up to your house? And I was like, oh, hell
This would be
no.
a good horror movie. I ain't gonna lie to you, this would probably be a solid horror movie based on a real story.
I don't want this in my house, but I was beaten over the head with it. Like, that's really insensitive. You know, she's done so much to help our family, and you're being selfish, and she has
She'll mess around and
needs,
sacrifice that boy.
Come on, like, it won't be for long. And so I relented, and I was like, okay.
Yeah,
Later
they had
in
some
his
relations
second
or
interview,
something.
Kevin told the police about the drastic changes that took place in the Frankie house after Jody moved in.
The moment she showed up in my house, just the weirdest crap started happening.
Try Rocket League. I might try one of these days. I tried it, but I was kind of trash at it. So wait a second. So yo, talk to me nice, bro. So she pulls up to the location, right? She pulls up to the location. All these miscellaneous activities happen. She thinks it's the Lord, but she does all these demonic practices, right? And it's like, oh yes, everything is happening. All this is happening. Little do you know, she's the reason why. Some people just carry the demons with them, bro. That's why you got to be careful about who you spend a lot of time with, bro. Not all peoples are good peoples.
Lights turning on and off.
Yeah, demons.
Sounds of people walking in walls, and
demons.
Sounds like footprints going up walls and across.
What the fudge? Yo, this is a horror movie.
Across the ceiling and stuff floating around, and I became the resident exorcist.
And what were you
That was
exorcising
the title
with?
I came up with myself. I thought it was kind of funny. Whenever she started to go into a trance and go into possession, which started to be a lot. And Ruby would go up and check on her. It started every 4 hours at night, and then it moved every 2 hours at night, then it moved every hour at night, and then at some point Ruby said, you know what, I'm just going to start sleeping in there, and if I need you, I'll come down and get you.
His story kind of falling off.
Jody began
Yeah, okay. The way that he's saying it, bro, he was 100% in on it. He was 100% in on it. He was 100% in on it. You can't sit there and say, oh, I don't know what was happening, and then you pretty much say the rest of the video, gang, you were in on it, but you just walked off so you didn't look like you were always in on it. Gang, you knew too much of the story, gang. What?
Sleeping in the same bed. However,
You're trying to say you a noob at the game. Gang, you're level 99.
Kevin
We
noticed
see it.
that
Stop
he was
lying.
being subjected to unique restrictions.
I could leave when I wanted, but I couldn't come back until Ruby gave me permission. I couldn't come into the kitchen to eat until Ruby gave me permission. And the upstairs where Jody roamed was completely off limits.
Because of her
Ruby
demonic.
would dictate all of the terms of how our interactions would be when we would talk. No matter what I did, no matter how much I tried to track better, be truthful and not be selfish.
Wait a second. So probably he left the house because of the lady. Jody, I never did anything, was probably the one saying, hey, tell that man to leave the house for a year and then he can come back. For whatever reason that is.
It was you're being manipulative, you're being selfish, you're lying, you're hiding something, you're still hiding stuff. And I really started to
trying to pin all of it on. He's
it
definitely to
became
blame.
more and more and
He's
more
geeking.
and more isolated. Jody had an approved list of men that I could make phone calls to.
This appeared to be a method Ruby repeated with Russell at Jody's house. Ruby recounted in the journal how she woke one night to find Russell missing and a note written in pebbles on the balcony which read, "Jail. I will call when I get there." Panicked, Ruby said she and Jody searched the house, then got in their cars and began driving around looking for Russell, which Ruby described as racing the devil. They brought him home. Disturbingly, she went on to describe the concession of letting Russell sleep in a bed and feeding him a full meal the next day as like stitching up a patient knowing you didn't get all the cancer out.
What the
Here, look at
fudge?
me. Don't say help anymore.
You just said it.
Yeah, so I'm very clear what I'm talking about. Don't say that again. Do you understand? Because next time you won't be smiling on your face.
Kevin explained that the situation never improved as
Too
everyone
demonic,
tried
bro.
to appease Jody and Ruby.
So I was.
So he was a
completely
beta
cut off.
male. Pretty much, that's
If
what I'm
I
getting.
went to my church leaders, I was
Church leaders.
seeking enablement. If I went to my family, I was seeking enablement. If I went to anybody, I was.
So okay, so the church is satanic. That's not even a church. That cult is satanic. Simple as that. That cult is satanic, and the man was trying to ask for help from people he thought he could trust, but the whole time they weren't there to trust him.
Enablement. I felt trapped. And that's where I was all the way up until the last week of July, when Jody called me one day out of the blue and just said, I don't understand why you're not getting it.
While everything the police had learned so far was certainly horrific, they would soon realize that it almost got unimaginably worse for the children.
The house is
Based on the
terrifying.
journal entries, the authors believed that the children's bodies needed to be engaged in painful good work as punishment.
What does that mean?
Just as Ruby and Jody set out to look for rural land in Arizona for the Frankie children to work.
Of course. They'd go to the middle of the desert so they can do all their satanic practices.
Ruby got a text. I found the land. As the move to Arizona loomed dangerously closer, it became obvious that the women wanted the pair to choose punishment over respite. In an emotional phone call made from her jail cell, Jody had this to say on the topic.
Wow.
Nobody wants the truth. Nobody wants the truth. Nobody wants the truth because these kids, I told Doug, I woke up, the spirit told me, it's all the devil. I mean, you've seen him, and he uses these kids, and he uses all of us,
Yeah, she's
the
geeking.
adults, the parents that don't hold the kids accountable. So now it's abusive to make a kid sleep on the floor. It's abusive, or it's abusive to, that's ridiculous. You can't even raise your kids anymore.
This was the sort of stance Jody put forth through her program, Connections. At its peak, her Instagram had over 10,000 followers, leading the police to
She
wonder
lost
just
over
how many other
9,000
children would have
followers.
suffered the ramifications of her influence. Later, in the midst of the investigation, Kevin continued his story of his family's breakdown.
So that separation continued all the way up until the holidays, maybe. And then Ruby ended that separation. Jody went home the second week of January. But by that time, Ruby, Pam, and
Who's
Jody were
Pam?
completely determined to
Who was
do this
Pam?
work that they felt God had for them. I thought it was crazy. I thought it was just that crazy.
When talking with Kevin, the police learned just how far Ruby was willing to go to pursue her work with Jody.
She wanted to legally, work with Jody's attorney to give Jody 8 passengers and become an employee of Connections.
That's so
Basically,
bad.
the contract was Ruby gives Jody everything, and Ruby gets
Okay,
nothing.
what I'm understanding is that, Kevin, you don't have any stain. You have zero stain. I'll be honest with you. He has absolutely zero stain. It seems like he's never once put his foot down to be like, no, this is what I'm doing for my family. He never had the compassion to truly talk to his wife and let this demonic Satanist perform activities on your children in their presence. You see what I'm saying? This is, it's one of those things that you have the funds to provide a bed for your children, but it's another to option, but not to, exactly.
Nothing in return.
For them
Our
not to
YouTube
choose it.
manager at the time was like, red flags. I don't know how to tell you. She is scamming you.
Yeah, that's a scam. Are you stupid?
Ruby fired him.
Regarding this issue of Ruby and Jody's business entanglement, Ruby made some interesting claims in one of her calls from jail. In fact, she seemed to be changing her attitude towards Jody entirely.
Jody Hildebrandt never was my business partner.
False.
Nor was I ever her employee. I never received wages from Connections or Jody.
False.
In 2019, I hired her as a counselor for my son, and then in 2020, I paid her to be my mentor. She's a whirlpool. She just pulls you.
Regardless of any legal business arrangements, finances became an increasingly central component of the travesty that befell the Frankie children. This became clear when police continued reading Ruby's journal and gained further insight into the disturbing reasons she and Jody were looking into moving to Arizona.
Yeah, why Arizona specifically?
Jody and I took Eve out into the desert, Ruby wrote. She went out into the heat, barefoot. Eve still tried to run. She screamed for another family, water, food, care, love.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Eve, a manipulative ploy.
Oh my
Ruby's
gosh.
journal entry
She's screaming out for a whole nother life. And then boom, that happens.
about taking Eve to the desert became even more heartbreaking. Apparently, it was only after Eve collapsed on the road exhausted that Ruby took her home. But not for long. The very next day, Ruby, Russell, Eve, and Julie all returned to the desert. For the next 3 days, the children were made to weed and tidy a cemetery on a nearby Native American reservation.
On a
They were
Native
not
American reservation? What?
allowed to wear shoes or gloves, despite the fact that there was broken glass and thorns everywhere. At one point, Russell became so desperate to escape the heat that he stuck his head in the toilet. Footage of this suffering was captured by a local who explained in no uncertain terms to Ruby that she was not welcome there and that she would be filing a police report. This, Ruby wrote in her journal, was a sign that the devil does not want us to take Russell and Eve out of society.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Apparently, relocating to Arizona was their chosen method of avoiding further unwanted attention.
So they could do more
One has
twisted
to wonder
things.
how long the plan to get to Arizona was in process, though, based on an interaction Kevin mentioned happened before the separation.
Is it just disgusting to see these people using an excuse that had their abuse? Exactly. How are you going to come up with an excuse to be like, yeah, it was their fault. It was their fault. This is the reason why I'm beating these kids up and I'm satanic practices. Like, bro, it's like, bro.
Ruby,
they're going to be in for a rude awakening,
me
bro.
with another separation. And just like, this isn't about money. This is about doing God's work. So we continued in that dynamic for the next 6 or 7 months until she went on a trip with Jody and Pam down to Arizona. And I think they, like, when I read her journal, she went into Mexico or something and bought drugs or something.
Not surprised.
Prescription drugs for the emergency kits.
Oh,
And
prescription.
when she came back from that trip, before she even brought the bags into the house, she pulled me in and said, I want to talk with you. And that's when she asked me to leave.
And so Kevin left and
Yeah,
got
you
an
have
apart-
no stain. So that was how it happened. Them getting caught is God's work. Oh, 100%, bro. He put them in a pack.
apartment in
Finest pack,
Springsville.
neatly
At
tied
some
and everything.
subsequent point, Ruby also left the family home for the house in Ivans to live with Jody, where the lives of her children would become a living nightmare. Back with Kevin, he said that when Ruby initiated contact again, he had no idea the sinister plan she had in store for their children.
Around that time, things with Ruby started, like, picking up. And I didn't understand why, but, like, Ruby wanted to meet in a parking lot and wanted me to sign over 2 of our cars, wanted me to sign them over to her name. I'm in total compliance mode at this point. Just
total.
I'm a good husband, you see.
I'm a good husband, you see? Oh my gosh, yo. Yo, I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. This guy, Beta. You led your family to ruin, gang. Look what you did. You led your family to ruin.
You can trust me.
I'm a good husband.
Ruby's
Look at me.
comments on
Look
the
at me. I'm a
journal
good
somehow
husband.
managed to become even
Not
more
a soul in her
disturbing.
eyes, bro.
She
Too many
wrote,
demons she saw.
This girl would choose to be shot and die than to humble. Even that wasn't the most disturbing part, though, because after locking Eve in the closet overnight, they decided to treat her injuries from the cactus. Ruby said, the spirit was very strong as Julie and I witnessed Jody cleaning what did not deserve to be cleaned.
What?
Kevin continued his story,
what?
discussing the moment he found
I
that his
paid
family
attention
had
to the
disappeared
husband,
to live
also
in
bad
Ivans.
dude. Factual statements. I'm glad no one's being brainwashed. I'm glad none of us are being brainwashed to realize that he's not safe in this. Gang, you're telling me you were aware? You're telling me you were aware of the satanic practices and was like, okay, that's fine as long as I can be a good husband. You saw dishes and stuff flying out. You were a pretend exorcist for the family. You saw the demons, you heard the demons, you knew their presence was there, and you allowed them to slowly take your family away from you. You see what I'm saying? You, husband and wife, y'all are supposed to be partners. But as the man, just like Christ led the church, you see what I'm saying? Christ being the husband and his wife being the church. You see what I'm saying? You're supposed to be leading your wife properly. And you led your wife to ruin by sitting there saying, I'm a good husband. Ain't that right, Ruby? I'm a really good husband. Look at me. Look at me. I can be a good husband. What? What are you doing? Now your kids are tormented. And you know what makes it worse? You knew all about it. You saw all of it happen. And when your wife said, yeah, leave, you're like, okay, baby, I'll leave right now. Look what happened. Now CPS is involved. Now God, with a capital G, has really stepped into the situation. Look at you, bro. Rosie, what is some Gypsy Rose boyfriend activity? I'm not familiar with that situation. So he isn't a bad dude, or he is a bad dude? No, he's a bad dude. He's for sure a bad dude. He neglected his children for a girl that isn't a fine shit. But that's his wife, though. That's his wife. Or I don't know if it was an outside situation. It just seemed like he was just hoed out of the situation. His wife said him to leave, and he left, and he didn't even put up a fight. Like I don't know I don't even know,
their own
bro.
house empty.
But when I returned to the house, everything was packed up, and a neighbor came over and said she asked for the HOA rules and mentioned to him that she wanted to rent the house out.
Oh.
Which I was like, are you kidding me? And she wanted to sell the house, but couldn't because my name was on the mortgage.
In another jail call, Ruby revealed that the Arizona scheme had gotten further along than anyone yet knew. One shudders to think what could have happened if Russell hadn't escaped before the move.
Yo, shout out Russell, bro. Christ was really walking with that boy.
In a bag.
With you? Do the police have it?
Well, I don't know what the police took.
But the bag was at Jody's house?
They can't just take people's money. I mean, that's not right.
In a stunning
like
twist,
you know
the
what's
person on the
between
other
right
end
and
of the
wrong.
phone was none other than Kevin himself. In the days following Ruby's arrest, the pair made several phone calls where Kevin tried to ensure he received custody of the children and secured the money that Ruby had pulled out. Kevin's demeanor towards Ruby in these calls might be unexpected.
I am committed to our family. I'm committed to you and our marriage. No matter what happens, I will be here to support you in any way that I can.
Well, thank you for stepping up.
During this call, Kevin and Ruby agreed to limit their contact going forward to
she's
strengthen
hoeing
Kevin's
you.
chances of gaining legal custody of the children. A discovery made the next day, though, blew that out of the water.
I knew it!
The bag's gone.
What?
The bag is gone.
What?
There's no bag.
The only thing more shocking
You're oh my gosh, bro. You're a HOE, bro. You're a HOE. You're a HOE, bro. You're a HOE. Good God,
His
bro.
disappearance was where Ruby had gotten the funds in the first place. Kevin and his lawyer revealed the source of the missing $85,000 while speaking with police.
Idiot.
That money, she cleaned out their bank accounts.
The kids' savings accounts.
Yeah, and yours too, your joint account.
Yeah.
That's where that money came from.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you can have, or if I need to have a discussion with the county attorney.
Yeah, no, you were in on it, gang.
Kevin would kind of like his kids' money back.
Unfortunately, tracking down the money and attempting to return it to the children would likely become a separate civil case. While Ruby didn't comment on this directly while in jail, she had more thoughts to share the longer she was behind bars.
Exactly.
The devil is so sly, and I'm embarrassed it took such a huge slap in the face to wake up to it.
On another call with her parents, Ruby proofread a court statement she wrote to address her children and acknowledge her actions.
I would do anything in this world for you. My willingness to sacrifice all for you was masterfully manipulated into something very ugly.
False. False. You're not fooling me. Oh, wait, is this just process in my brain that they were Native American land, Native Americans? I know, that's what I was telling you. That's what I was saying. That's why I was on some raise my eyebrow when I'm saying, you're telling me you were on Native American reservation land? Gang, I'm even aware that stuff happens out there, gang. And that's not even my coast. Lock in with yourself, gang. Come on. That's how she was easily able to access them demons.
I took from you all that was safe and soft and good. I took from you your mother. How terrifying this must have been for you.
Yeah, she's a trash mom.
I will never, ever
Yeah, you're a horrible
stop
mom.
crying for hurting your tender souls.
Yeah.
You are such a very precious part of me. I'm so very sorry.
But no apology in the world could begin to undo the horrible trauma experienced by the Frankie children.
Yo, what's good, Ghost?
In contrast to Ruby's attempt to make amends, Jody's response was the same as it was at the beginning of the investigation.
She did nothing wrong.
The Lord says that first they'll lay their hands on you, and and persecute you.
Okay, see, this is so important, and I'm so glad that she said this, right? Guys, you always got to remember when you got to watch out for false prophets. There are going to be a lot of people in this world that are going to see scripture, take scripture, and they're going to twist it. They're going to twist it for their agenda and their goals, and that's how a lot of people are able to make all these cults in this world, because they're taking biblical scripture and they're twisting it for whatever sick reasons that they have in their heads. Always remember that.
Synagogue
Always remember that.
and into prisons, and the children
Bro,
shall
I'm Native American. What's going on? Nah, it's just that, you know what I'm saying? Everybody knows Native American, what's it called? Reservation land. You know, a lot of things happen on there. There's a lot of things that we're all, you know what I'm saying? A lot of spirits and stuff like that. And this lady right here, this Jody Hilda, she was in a lot of demonic activity, very heavy. You see what I'm saying? And she pretty much terrorized this entire family, and the husband was a bot. So I guess that's the best way to describe it.
rise up against their parents and shall cause them to be put to death. That statement right there is what's going on with me. The children shall rise up and put their parents to death, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
Ultimately, Ruby and Jody were charged with 6 felony counts of child abuse and neglect each. Rather than go to
40 years?
trial, Ruby and Jody pleaded guilty to 4 counts of child abuse. Though their cases were adjudicated separately, they received the same sentences.
20
On
years.
each count, Jody and Ruby were sentenced to serve between 1 and 15 years in prison.
On each count, they were given 4 counts. So they're a minimum serving 4 years.
Sentences were to be consecutive, meaning
4
both
years.
women could be behind bars for up to 60 years,
Jesus.
which could be the rest of their lives.
They're like
Kevin
40
continues
something?
to lobby for custody of his children, who were taken by DCFS and placed in foster care.
Aw.
The Frankie's oldest daughter, Sherry, is writing a book about her upbringing and has requested the public respect the privacy of her younger siblings as they attempt to recover. While their
you
current
adopt your
status
kids?
is unknown, we can only hope that the Frankie children are at long last experiencing the kindness and gentleness that they deserve.
Blessed be the Lord. I hope they're able to be, I hope they realize that, like, oh, the part when they were younger and how their life went horribly, it ends up changing for the complete better. And you know what I mean? Blessed be the Lord. Like, everything just changes for them, bro. But yes, though, bro, this is a Wonderful Tablets video. If y'all enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel. It's your boy, Kiddabsolute. I'm going to catch y'all later. Peace.